It's time once again for the A7FL 3-on-1 podcast. How's it going, everybody? I'm Matt Ryan, and joining me as always are two of my favorite human beings. You know them, you may like them, or you may know them. It is
you
Big
may
Bob
show them.
God damn it.
I'm sorry.
God,
I gotta start the show off
God,
with as early a car crash as possible.
just every week. I ask myself, when is it going to happen? Where in my day is Corey Hammond going to Corey Hammond me? And it happens. Rob, our group chat is messy very much on a daily basis. And
what would you think the ratio? Yeah, what do you think the ratio is text to text?
In terms of messiness?
No, I would say in terms of volume of the amount of text per person out of 10.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy money.
Yeah, I'm losing.
Corey is 65%.
Yes.
I am 30%. And Roberto, Bachata Bob, Sangria Bobby is 5%, if that. I think Jess is like 2.5% of that.
Yo.
And I'm thinking half of Rob's responses are by his fiance, because at varying points it's just LOL. Y'all fucking emojis. Crazy.
Yo, Matt, how are you calling me out like this? Yo, that's crazy. Yo,
even worse, crazy. I'm gonna make it true. How about today, Matt, when it was just randomly 5:30, 5:30, and we were like, wait, you want to record at that time? Oh no. Yo.
I was walking.
Wrong
this was yesterday, and I was flyering. I was in Park Slope for Catalyst Wrestling. Buy tickets at catalystwrestling.com. That's catalystwrestling.com. And I get we're talking about the person who was supposed to be our guest tonight, still may be our guest, Snages Sosa. Second time, and Rob's face tells the story there. And we're texting, and Rob just sends us 5:30. And I'm standing on a street corner wondering, what the fuck, 5:30? It's after 5 o'clock.
Right. Listen, a friend of mine asked me when the state game was for the local high school. I ignored him. I'm such a bad texter. I ignored him for the better part of like 4 hours. And it was like 4:45, and I was like, shit, 5:30. And I just texted, not realizing I was texting the group chat. I'm not a great texter, bro. Like,
that explains a lot.
Yeah, no, you're terrible at it.
Hey, actually explains a lot now. I feel a little bit better, actually.
No, you guys want to over under? What do you think my unread text message number is?
74.
42. Ooh, 42. I'm gonna go.
Okay, I'm gonna be nice and throw you guys a slight bone. It is an absurd number, so no.
So it's still hold without going over.
389.
150.
I said it's an absurd number.
867.
Matt, I said it's an absurd.
Jesus, pal.
You already know.
You guys want to see how many unread text messages I have?
Yes, I'm gonna put you on the big screen on YouTube. Bro, how do you own an Android? That phone would break.
So wait, you're just one away from 1,500?
Hold on.
It's because I'm
gonna text you personally. Oh no, you do it.
No, it's a race. It's a race. Whoever gets there first.
No, I'm gonna lose.
Corey's losing.
No, I'm gonna show up and win all the time. So I already knew that was
here's the crazy
that was a loss.
part.
So I'm not doing it.
Seven of those 1499 come from the group chat. That's 1,500. And Matt texts his buttholes for the 1,500 unread messages.
USA.
I'm a bad texter, guys. I'm sorry.
I like that the conceit of this week's show is like, oh, we're gonna get Snages Sosa on the air. We're gonna get a whole bunch of questions answered about him going to the U alongside some other Baltimore players. But no, it's just us making fun of the fact that Rob does not answer text messages.
I'm the worst, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I'm the worst.
I'm just glad, like, when it's important, you'll reply.
I'll reply.
Like today, I had a big group text with a bunch of people in production saying, hey guys, here's what it's looking like for us. We need to have a conversation about this to see how we can move forward in the season. Rob acknowledged that the text happened. Cory replied. I was in deep negotiations with our producer of the games of the week, Alex Boom Boom Soberman, who you all know and love. If you watch the games of the week, you will at some point hear Alex yell at me, "Go to break, you dumb motherfucker."
Yeah,
He said it at least 16 times just during the Vegas season.
What have I done to make you feel this?
And there's a lot, and
I'm hearing the whole conversation. Who's that?
The spice is life going on right now. I'm going to assume that last week's podcast did not play well. Shout out to Jess for being the ultimate sport at the end of last week's podcast that we did live on Valentine's Day.
That was great.
Yeah. And shout out to Jess for being the ultimate pro and stepping in when needed. Shout out to her for making our merch as well. And we're going to hopefully have that bye-bye shirt coming up soon. And that'll be one shirt. Well, 2 shirts for me, 2 shirts for Cory, then 3-shirt Bob over here.
I have 3 shirts.
Well, Huss. Then you have the podcast one where it's all of our stupid faces.
All 3 of us, right. And then, okay.
And then there's the generic, the generic A7FL shirts. And then there's Thick Boy Season. There's I'll Try, featuring the wonderful face of Corns Hammond. And then there's your shirt, Bobby, the Huss shirt. And yeah, so wave to the people. Blow them kisses. But
love you guys. I'm telling you, I would buy a Thick Boy Season shirt. I mean,
and if Cory's talking, you're muted, buddy. It's fucking an award winner.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Well, because everybody could hear what was going on in my house, so I was checking to see if it was my computer audio or the headphone audio. I don't even know what they were saying, and the face my wife is giving me, I'm sure everybody shouldn't have heard.
We just heard external noise. Yeah, it was very much Charlie Brown's teacher or any adult on Charlie Brown.
At this time of night, it's usually my son getting reprimanded for something. So,
is he on the TikToks?
Is he on the TikToks?
That's not what's getting him in trouble. Usually it's his I'm a grown ass man at 14 attitude because he has a girlfriend. But Cory's got kids. Hashtag.
I sucked from the ages of like 13 to 22, but
that's a long time.
But being 14 years old and having irrational confidence is such a dangerous thing because we all know
good for making decisions when you're in the pocket and you have to make that split second decision. So, it's a give and take.
Yeah. It's the balance of life. And you and Jess are fantastic parents. So his head's on the right shoulders, but he's also a football star with a girlfriend. So that'll happen.
And I don't know if I'm a Cory Hammond.
I don't know if I'm a
that's that.
Well, I don't know if I'm a fantastic parent, but you already know that I'll try.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh goodness.
Can I get something clarified?
We're not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, this is the episode title is probably off the rails for an hour and a half because I think we're gonna set a record. But can I get clarification? Because I'm an old man and I just realized I have no idea how to pronounce the word GIF.
It's GIF.
It's
supposed to be GIF, but it's GIF.
Always called it GIF. And before it was popularized by,
it was GIF.
Right? That was always GIF.
And then you heard one person say GIF and you were like, I think I like it better.
GIF.
So what is the actual if you went
the creator of the file type calls it GIF. Every normal sane person calls it GIF.
Because GIF is peanut butter, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
My man, you get it. Yeah. But
GIF is definitely
speaking of things that can be smooth or chunky, last week's podcast got the people. So we did our own podcast, which you're listening to or watching now. And one of the most listened to, most watched podcasts in show history. Shout out to Quattro Huffin, who asked if the podcast was happening tonight. Good thing we didn't do it live because that would have been an interesting one. But we had a lot of conversations about that. And then 2 days later, we ended up doing the Vegas podcast and joining Chris Vera, Derek Duncan, and Commissioner Casey Cox for the fall pro team, setting the road for March 26th. And there's a lot of players who are happy with what we said, unhappy with what we said, and genuinely just wanting to get on the podcast and speak their mind. Cory, Rob, from the player perspective of the last 2 weeks, what are things you're hearing, and what are some of the things you think are starting to leak out as we're almost 30 days away? This Friday, the 24th, marks 30 days until the start of the season. What are some of the things going around? What's some of the scuttlebutt?
The Vegas guys are like very excited. They're doing a lot of weird things. There's some people I don't.
What do you mean? Oh, you can't just say weird things. That just means like they're practicing with banana cream pies. Like what are we doing here? Like clowns, come on.
But they're like there's people there's people like pseudo retiring, people proclaiming, they're going to be the best ever that we've ever seen. I've gotten a few inboxes of guys I didn't think would be happy with, what I said, but a lot of the guys are actually pretty happy with the things I said and how I challenged the panel to really give it some thought over who the best quarterback in Vegas is. And we made some very good points. As far as the episode goes, I really do think Vegas as a whole enjoyed that episode, and I was very happy to do it with you guys. And thanks for Derek and Casey and Chris for having us. Chris is his name, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, I thought I called him something else. All right, good. I didn't appreciate how Casey kicked us out the group chat. I
think they do that every week. I think that's like for that week's guest.
No, they do. I felt hurt.
There's a GIF right there, and then I took that personally. Right? That's a Jordan GIF, or is it a Jordan GIF?
I would love if that turned into like the feud this year,
and I took that personally.
That is just Big Rob and Casey in this
Casey for no reason in a supermarket.
Yeah, this angry. I'm angry at Casey for kicking me out the group chat. I'm not angry. I was like, damn, what did I do? And I was like, oh shit, it's over. Oh duh. I'm like, okay, cool.
Oh, you thought practically and like, oh, like a person.
Yes.
And I saw that and I'm like, no, that makes sense. But there's a little bit in my brain. It's like, oh, we did something. Because we did walk into that podcast like, oh, we just did an episode of the 3-on-1 and those guys were there and it was fun.
It was very fun.
Rob was in his fucking bag. And like we discussed it after the show.
Yeah.
Hence the messiness of the group chat. And it's just, I forgot to do the percentages earlier. 85% of the messiness comes from Cory and Rob. But there's that sweet little Rob, don't look. It's a combined 70% of it's Cory.
Okay.
That last 15% is you.
I'll take it.
You and I basically equal 30%.
I'll take it.
Cory's 70%.
This is like I think a 70-week tease. But guys, honestly, seriously, is the Bonjour lyrics that I put out there not absolute flames? Absolute flames. Nobody's gonna get that reference, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Buddy, I've stopped trying to figure out what you're saying for the last 2 years. I have called a sufficient amount of football with the both of you. And there are varying points where I'm like, all right, Cory's just going to be Cory for a while.
And we appreciate it.
And Cory completely off camera right now.
tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. Cory.
Starting next week, we are going to have a sponsor. Our new sponsor will be Skillshare. So we'll have a link in the description and a bunch of cool stuff from our friends over at Skillshare, and you'll see graphics and all that other fun shit. But yeah, sponsors finally. We've been doing this podcast since July, like right after the season ended, and we're a month away from the A7FL season. We talked about the schedule 2 podcasts ago, but we really didn't get a chance to digest the fact that a lot of these games are going to be very interesting and we're going to have a lot of fun. But I can't figure out what's the most fun week. Just looking at it on paper.
I mean, I could tell you a few fun games that I'm excited to see. I don't know if they fall in the same week though.
Well, what are they?
Off right off the back, I mean the chip rematch is going to be a fun game. And I mean for both states. I'm talking pit bosses versus forces and forces versus kryptonite. I'm looking forward to both of those games.
Those are going to be really fun. Like week 1, as we discussed, it's going to be the U and the Snow Tribe. Cory starting things off.
That's gonna be fun.
With
Any
a new
game, Cory,
addition, basically a trade went down.
talk to me.
Where Kenneth Stewart is now a Snow Tribe member, and it looks
What?
like,
Where did you see that?
Eddie Pettiot is going to the Renegades. Is that
Well,
something that I might have heard that? I'm not sure if that's a thing.
The confirmation is that according to sources is that Kenneth Stewart is currently a free agent. I know that he's speaking with Snow Tribe representatives and representatives from other New Jersey teams. I don't think that there's any confirmation where he's landed unless you just saw something that I didn't see. And if we're also, putting stuff out there, just because I was looking for it while we were talking about the Vegas guys, I would be remiss because I was the one who threw the name out there and Derek just went with me because he trusted me and I betrayed his trust in this instance. But when we were talking about the center for the Pit Bosses and we said it was Gabe Ruiz, it was actually Brandon Socorro. So he reached out to me. He said, hey, that's me, not him. Can we get that adjusted? So, check that off. All right. Said I would do it. All right. We're done with that. So, yeah. We had a trade of sorts. I mean, it is for sure confirmed that Eddie Pettiot was actually out there this Sunday in the Renegades U scrimmage, which I heard some of the information from, and it was CP3 under center for the Renegades, and I think that was made official. Renegades, from what my sources tell me, Renegades, management will say that the guys who run that squad informed both of the guys, and it was official at that point. The other was just kind of conjecture and guys' opinions. And then that prompted Kenneth to, declare as a free agent to see what he could do. And there's a couple of interesting opportunities for him. And, he's a very good player and he's willing, like he said right now, to play wide receiver, which is, what made him, a memorable name before last season as the starting quarterback for the Renegades. But he's also, very capable at both. So we'll see how that progresses as the season is fast approaching.
Well, why not stay on the Renegades as their wide receiver?
I spoke with Kenneth personally, but I didn't get a sense of what he felt comfortable with me sharing. So what I will say is that from what he told me, there is reasons and he has his own reasons, but I'll let him articulate those if he ever wants to publicly himself.
And of course, and until he, comes up, not up here, but until he clears that up himself, we're just going to assume he left because he lost the quarterback spot to CP3.
And that's fair.
That's why I left.
Yeah, that's true.
And I didn't even technically lose it, but the writing was on the wall that I was a bridge, and this was the option that they wanted to succeed. And you already know that Corey Hammond ain't no bridge, except for when I go to the Hawks late in the season and they put in a running back that's never started a quarterback over me. But that's another story.
So can you give us some more information about what happened during that scrimmage? And you said he left before the scrimmage started, or was it like the scrimmage started, they told him, then he left?
What I will say is that I also talked to CP3 today, and a personal friend of mine. We were talking about stuff, and I'm just trying to get a sense of a lot of what's going on. But you probably could figure out why I'm asking about youth scrimmages. So CP3 said that it's a new look Renegades. They got a lot of guys on that roster. They're trying to figure out with a lot of the combinations of some of those Hawks guys and guys that are coming back that were not there that are back now, and kind of trying to find the rotation of guys and who guys are getting there. And it was a relatively quick scrimmage is what I was told. I was told that the U, made some adjustments. A lot of the names that we were kind of like with the conjecture stuff for a New Jersey scrimmage were not there. So I don't know what that means. Obviously, if they're, the Baltimore guys like we were, alluding to, as well as trying to get on the show, Snags. The fact that they're in Baltimore, them not making the scrimmage in New Jersey doesn't necessarily mean anything.
No,
but it was interesting to hear, basically from the words of Cory Price, is that their defensive line doesn't seem like it's any worse than it's always been. So, for all the talk that we talk about the one player last week, which is maybe the most important player for the roster, if they have a defensive line that can put pressure on quarterbacks consistently week in and week out, it's still going to be a very competitive team that we could expect a hard game from every week. And for my week one, the opening matchup, in the games of the week, I'm really excited because, like I tell people, I don't play Madden on rookie. So I sometimes would prefer it all pro, but it's seeming like it's going to be all Madden week one for the E&J Bowl.
Let's ask you some questions, because apparently we're not going to get too much. How much more info do you have on how the scrimmage went down? Like, was it competitive? The new look U without the Baltimore guys, right. Did they still have the feel of the old U? You understand? Are they going to be competitive? Are they not? Like, it's a scrimmage.
What I will confirm is that the information that I got is that the U were the team that scored the more, technical points. It was a 10-play offense, 10-play offense situation. Okay. And then what and it was only a couple of drives back and forth. So like I said, it was a quick scrimmage. It was, relatively hard to kind of gauge, I guess, because obviously the U guys are probably, the guys that showed up are the, the mainstays that you would assume would show up.
Can we confirm who that quarterback was?
From what I heard, that quarterback is the original quarterback and maybe the, quintessential player, like U player. If it's not, Quattro Huffin, it's definitely Kareem Moon. So that's what I heard. And then, there's a Willie Mayweather sighting, which, that could be. And I don't want to break too much ground because, I didn't get this from specifically you, but, when you see Willie Mayweather and you're on the Renegades, you recognize who it is. And then they had to try to tackle him. And at times I heard that even though the Renegades defense is there, in Samad, I heard the linebacker that I wish he was on my team still. But Samad, the linebacker number 5 for the Renegades, who Cory Price says is because he's relatively new to the Renegades too. He says, yeah, that guy can hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good linebacker right there. So, I think that what we could expect from the U is what you might assume we could expect from U is that they were successful before they opened up the offense to be this, like this high powered, quick, hurry up type of thing that they became almost dominant with. When they have, good big backs, and from what I hear, I'm not sure, but one of their big backs is D-Train, right? If they're adding a Willie Mayweather to a D-Train,
that's a huge pickup. It's a good pickup. They lost Debo to BIC. He went back to BIC. So Willie Mayweather for Debo, or ice cream truck. I keep calling him Debo. What the hell's wrong with me? Ice cream truck. That's not a bad switch. Like, that's not the worst thing that can happen.
No, and we talk about the disappointment we felt in the Hawks team that I was a part of last year because of on paper what it was. One of those things that on paper looked great was Willie Mayweather. And, he's a really great running back. And when he had the opportunity to in the right situation, he was still making plays. Right. But, there was a couple of times where it felt like, because there was a lot of things going on there. He at times last year, even, with the talent that he had some missteps. So I think getting back on track, getting back in the league consistently and being on a team like the U, I think is going to get Willie Mayweather back on the national, attention span. And he's one of those running backs that when we talk about like who's the better ones in the league, you can't look past them because, there's a lot of other reasons why the Chiefs won the championship.
Yeah,
but when the Chiefs became, but when the Chiefs became like the really serious, competitive team, it was even before they joined with, you know, the other guys that kind of took him over the top. It was basically they were giving the ball to Mayweather and he was doing special things. So, you know, we're talking about a player added to a U roster that, you know, nothing's like it was funny. Ayo Burton tagged me because of the Ryan Shamar episode in which I asked him outright, is Huff going to lace up? And I guess shit. I was right.
You did ask, because we were hearing rumors since back then.
Yeah, it started like the day after the season started.
Yeah, we were hearing a lot of crazy rumors since back then.
And what was funny is the way that I said it, and I quote, "Hey, nobody likes me anyway." And then I went into the question. So now that Ryan Shamar said it himself, there's no way you can replace a player like Quattrell Huffin. But one of the ways maybe you can, you know, start to rebuild is look at your roster and say, hey, if we dominate with the run game like we did in the early U years, you know, our defense is still going to be those same guys that are really tough to beat. So, you know, as the Snow Tribe, we're working. I'm working, and
I like that.
We're ready for week
You're
one.
helping. You just helped my segue, because that's the next team I want to ask you about. Cory Snow Tribe Hammond, are you confirmed to be the starter for the Snow Tribe at this point right now?
I mean, that's not my decision to make. You're asking the podcaster to shift it immediately into the player, and
well, I'll give you a buffer then. I'll give you a buffer to process that.
Sure. No,
Rob,
I'm ready to answer the question. I'm
all right. Well, answer the question, then I have my own question.
All right.
But I'm trying to help you out.
Oh,
fuck him up, Matt. Fuck him up.
Rob, as a member of the Snow Tribe, you know, what this year is about is that everybody's got a job to do, and you got to earn your spot and earn your place. So I'm showing up to practices. I'm, you know, doing what I can. And we had a really good showing on Sunday. You know, I found a couple of guys that, you know, I was starting to build chemistry with, and it's really not my decision what I'm doing. I just know that I got to focus on myself. If I keep getting better, you know, that's why I lost all the weight. That's why I've been working out every weekend. I'm just trying to be the best me I can be. But I will say this, Rob, Ant Live, literally after one pass, you've probably seen this. He jumped up and screamed, "Fucking yeah, Cory!" So I think I'm doing okay. You know, there's still a chance that maybe they're going to land Huff if I'm not mistaken. They're still trying that. You know, they're thinking that if Dion talks to Josh Allen, and Josh Allen from the Buffalo Bills actually makes some overtures and is like, "Listen, man, I'll show up personally to your like cousin's baptism or some shit." I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if they get
he pulls up in a Snow Tribe like blazed Lambo, like the snowman's on the hood of it. It's just iced out completely. He shows up in a Snow Tribe colored suit.
Look, I got
his sister's cousin's quinceañera.
They gave me the free cleats. If you look on here, there's a 91 because I got the free cleats. These are game worn NFL cleats, which basically means they're just used cleats from an NFL player that was like, "These are trash. I don't need them more than once." And then I endeavored them up. But that's what I got. Apparently,
it's like Dobby and his sock. Cory's a free quarterback now.
And Dobby means two things. Because if you go Endeavor, right?
Yeah. Matt doesn't even know what he did. Matt doesn't even know what he did. He just
Dobby is the son of that character.
Of Endeavor. Yeah, he just double entendre. A double entendre.
I could have said like Leon Schnickelfritz Johnson V, and he'd be like, "Oh no, in episode 3, scene 2,
no, that does
half a frame in. He's right there."
No, but if you said Kachan Bakugo, I would have been like, "Yeah, that's the 1-for-1 comparison to Deck." Right, Rob.
He's wild.
But what I was saying was not the anime reference. What I was actually saying is that I got the shoes. Quattrell Huffin was offered the Lambo, and he still said no.
So who would be? Oh well, no, Matt, you had a question before I go.
My question was, is this the most parity we've seen in the Northeast in forever? Because we're talking about all these teams like they have a shot at making the Eastern playoffs. And, you know, I don't want to go playoffs a little too early with the Snow Tribe or the Animals. Right. But unlike last season, we're having a legitimate we didn't have the podcast last season, but we're heading into the season with some expectations for those teams unlike last year, where I feel like all three of us, before we became the three of us, would have said those teams are going to show up and play football. Outside of that,
Right.
can't tell you a goddamn thing.
Right. I mean, it is the most parity we've seen. If I'm being honest with you, these are the most moves we've seen from one team to another. There's new teams being created, weaker teams getting strengthened. Like it's a big move. And again, like with a guy like, listen, you guys got Dion. He can get anyone. And that was going to be one of my other questions. Like, who
Can he though? Because
no, here's what I'm saying.
I heard they were really trying for Ellerby too.
I'm just saying Dion still has connects. You get what I'm getting at? Like, I don't know anything to reveal anything, but I know Dion, being who he is, still has connects to people who used to formerly play for another league. And if Dion flexes those connects, we might not be looking at the same Snow Tribe. We might not even be talking about them the same way. It might get dark out there for some teams.
It's going to get snowy, is what you're saying?
Snowy. Very
Winter
snowy.
is coming.
For real.
And I see that as a
cold
thing.
Emojis posted all over our page. And it's like, your Snow Tribe just beat the U. It's real. Like, that's going to be insane.
The day that happens, I think, is the day where, and this is not an indictment on the Snow Tribe, and this is kind of more of a thing that I think will happen in the next few years. The tone of the narrative in this league is going to shift to anybody can win it. And I think we're getting to that point.
That's
because Kenny Stansberry and Carl Meisner have set a standard alongside Ryan Shamar in building teams. But now it's about consistent turnover, because it gets to a point where a Quattrell Huffin gets tired or feels like he needs to start something new, and it leaves the U trying to answer questions with players that came to them via happenstance. Like, it is very interesting that the way that the DMV division became the DMV division and set up these scenarios for a Snags Sosa to go to the U, for an OG Buck to go to the U. You know, there's Lenny Manziel that we don't even have a lot of answers on where we're going to see him play. And
I heard a lot. Mind you, you just said that, right? I'm hearing, what's that other Baltimore team?
The Watchmen.
I'm hearing they tooled up. I'm hearing
what's
a lot
crazy,
of guys went over there.
What's crazy is that the Northeast is, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's going to break down to the top 6 from the whole Northeast, which is Boston, which is all of New Jersey, which is the DMV, right? Right.
So the bracket, which we showed on the playoff show,
it's the 3, 6, 4, 5 is kind of like the play-in for that New Jersey division, right?
So on June 11th would be the number 1 seed in the Northeast playing the bottom seed of the DMV or Southern New Jersey divisions. Then the top second seed playing the second seed. That would be slotted 1 through 4. And then basically a Florida knockout round, because that's a part of the Eastern Conference. The next week would be the Northeast Divisional Championship. So the best team from New Jersey, Massachusetts, or Maryland and Washington playing against each other. And then the 2 Florida teams that survived the knockout round the week before moving on to the conference championships, where it would be Florida versus the Northeast. And it's breaking down that way for Ohio and Nevada and Los Angeles.
Oh, so Florida doesn't actually get a chance to upset anybody outside of Florida until
the Final Four.
Yeah.
Final Four.
Yeah. So Nevada and Los Angeles don't play Ohio until the conference championship, and the same thing for the Northeast versus Florida.
But what's interesting for me about the Northeast is the way it breaks out is that the only 2 teams that play each other twice are the DC Buzz, I believe, and the Watchmen. So those 2 games are going to be pivotal. And whoever kind of takes control of who's the better team out of the DMV, that Maryland division,
because it's head-to-head first, right?
Well, they have the 2 games. So if, for instance, if the DC Buzz are better than the Watchmen and they get to play them twice, that's 2 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically a race to 4. So if you get 2 wins against the one opponent, you're kind of a leg up. And for teams like the 2 teams, BIC and the U, they have the 7 games. That also is crazy because then that extra game, if it ever matters with those 2 teams, they do have the percentage points. So let's say they got 4 wins in the U. If they have a different amount of losses than a team that only played 6 games, then it's a different seeding. So it's gonna get really interesting, especially in the Northeast, as there's the 6 spots, and that's going to shrink down to the 4, and then the 2, and then the 1. But for specifically for that DC, that's going to create a potential rivalry very, very quickly as that Baltimore division kind of, morphs and mutates into what it may be is 2 relative super teams, which we always know, no matter what, like the combination of talent, you find teams that eventually find a way to become dangerous. And, with teams like the Omegas, the Rollers, we can't look past a team in the Boston team that, they're an expansion team, but they got an NFL player, they said, right? And the J Rollers, the J Rollers got a J Roller. So, right. I mean, there's a lot to still be determined. And I think, week in, week out, every single team on both sides of the country and up and down are going to have to bring their A game.
I'd actually like to do something, Matt. Is there a way you have the schedule in front of you by any chance?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there's something I used to love doing when I played. The schedule dropped, and I can read the schedule and tell you what our best record would be and what our worst record would be.
Win dog, lost dog?
Pretty much. And the thing is, we showed Vegas so much love. We can give them a pause. We showed Vegas a lot of love. I'd love to do that for the Northeast right now.
So let's do it. We got we'll go through all the Northeastern game. Well, we've got the
I will abdicate any Snow Tribe game because I am focused on 1 week at a time. But if it doesn't involve
we'll
my
let
team,
you opt out. I used to have to opt out.
Snow.
I used to have to opt out of the U game, so we'll let you opt out.
So we'll go in order of what I have on my schedule.
Okay.
First game was March 26th. That's opening day. BIC against the Renegades.
1-0. BIC.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is BIC 1-0. Renegades.
Let's just take a quick pause just to kind of check in, because this is a good way to check in. Rob, is there any way that the defensive line, probably the only defensive line that's ever given Sterry any bit of actual hesitation or trouble?
Before you even finish the sentence, no.
Okay, we're moving on.
Fuck no. Hell no.
But that'll be the check and balance. Like, we're gonna say,
for sure.
Favorite, do they have a chance to lose that game?
BIC, no. And Renegades, bulletin board material. Do your thing. I don't care.
And we move on to our second game. It's the U and the Snow Tribe. That'll actually be our first game of the year.
Let's do all of the BIC. So
all right, so we'll do all the BIC then. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So BIC week 2 against the Watchmen.
2-0.
Okay, but what if that's the Baltimore super team? Let's say, even though we're not allowed to say those names, it's a crocodile-ish type of animal, and it's let's say it's an extinct type, right? So we combine the crocodile and the extinct type, and now it's a Watchman. What if that's the best possible team with the quarterback that we're hearing is maybe the best possible quarterback from that division?
It all sounds good.
Win dog, lost dog.
Those guys been getting their ass kicked for 2-3 years straight, bro. Nothing's gonna change.
And they're gonna need to get into rhythm and cadence really quickly by this point, we're at the 30-day mark of the season. It's on Friday. They have to get their team together in 30 days. I think that team can be a problem in the playoffs, but to completely be honest with you, I'm not sure by week 2 to play the defending champions in New Jersey on national television. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off.
So it should be 2-0.
Yeah.
2-0.
So week 3, BIC against the U.
Shit.
This is the one. Maybe it's fair to say that this is maybe the worst case scenario is they lose this one. And
so, that's how we
believe
that
they should win. What makes you think that the BIC could lose this game?
we got to just be like, that's how I used to look at it, right? We're looking at the schedule. We're looking at who's the most competitive teams. If we took a loss here, how bad would it be? Worst possible schedule or worst possible record. And that's one of the games I would mark down as this is a must-play game, a must-win game, and worst comes to worst, we lose this game. That's really
one Rob.
all it is.
That's one Rob wakes up to and drives to. That's basically what he's saying. Yeah. All right, so we're saying they should be 3-0. Worst case, they're 2-1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, week 4A.
All right, so hold on. I'm going to put it at 2-1. The next week is the Watchmen. The BIC take on Boston, so that makes them, in my opinion, 3-1.
Yeah.
So 4-0, 3-1, right? Yeah.
And
So likely they'll
game.
be 4-0. Yeah, likely they're 4-0.
Yeah.
The next week would be against the Rollers.
Fun game. I actually can't wait to watch that one, but 5-0, 4-1.
Okay.
All right. 4-1. All right, that gets us to
you already
week
know
6.
what week 7 is.
Yeah, week 6 is BIC against the Animals. So,
how much do you believe in your guy?
I believe in Huff. I just don't believe in that team. I still think they're undefeated.
6-0, 5-1. So,
all right. So that gets us to our final regular season game against the Snow Tribe.
Lost dog? No, go ahead.
I think BIC can go undefeated this year in the regular season.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, best case scenario, they go undefeated. Worst case, they lose a close game to a new look U that no one understands yet.
All right. Well, do you want to do the U next? Do you want to do the U next?
Do the U next, yeah.
All right. So week 1 against the Snow Tribe.
Lost dog.
1-0.
Week 2 against the Buzz.
Oh, damn.
Where is that game?
That game is in Jersey. That game is at Asbury Park.
So that also means
that'll be a game of the week.
That's an away Maryland game, though, right?
But you know, all those guys are driving up there together.
That's an away game for the U. The U will be there.
That's gonna be a very competitive game if the Buzz load up like I hear that they loaded up, but I'm still giving the edge to the U.
All right, so that gives them 2-0. They head into week 3, and that is against the BIC. So does that make them 2-0, 3-0, 2-1?
Their best case scenario is they still lose to BIC.
Really? So we had them as the only conditional loss.
Listen. I know what I said for BIC, but this is for the U now.
All right.
Best case scenario is they lose to BIC.
Okay, so it's 2-1.
Anybody that's going to put that uniform on actually thinks the best case scenario is still they lose to BIC. I think that they think they have a chance against BIC, and rightfully so. It's not that they don't have a chance.
Listen, I love those guys. I want to chip with them 2 years ago. I'm just a realist. I'm not. I'm not a hopeful guy.
I mean, 2-1, 2-1,
2-1. I'm just saying, like
2-1.
I
got you.
On the chance. Guys.
I'm not upset at it.
Third week, I gave them a chance on the BIC schedule, but on their schedule,
I guess that's fine.
After that, they have the Watchmen in Jersey.
What do we say about that though? Because if it's the U, like best case scenario, obviously win, right? Best case scenario, they obviously win. Is that one of those, Rob, that you look at the U and that might be something that they have to work with, because the U lost in the regular season to the Rare Breed last year. So when the extinct species, right?
I get it. We
crocodiles,
get it,
right?
Cory, God damn it.
So 3-1. So 3-1, 3-1. Sorry, 2-2.
Cory,
1 and 2-2.
I'm not gonna lie, Cory just kind of changed things for me by saying that.
The Watchmen are the swing game, because the Watchmen could be a team that's not good. They could be one of the best teams. That's crazy.
Right now, the U's worst case scenario. The U's worst case scenario might be 1-3 by week 4. Worst case scenario. They can get I'm giving Cory that one. They might go on a 3-game slide if by week 2 they're not ready to deal with a DMV team who has played together while they're still trying to figure it out. If the U doesn't
Oh, wait,
implode,
no, you're saying that I definitely have. No, never mind.
you're funny as
Keep
hell.
going,
I'm
keep going.
saying-
No, it's not funny. You said that the team that might give him a game, and I misunderstood.
I'm talking
Is
about
the goddamn
Watchmen.
Buzz.
The Buzz. I'm talking about Buzz, BIC, and Watchmen.
I know,
If
and you
Buzz-
fucking completely.
You're hurting his feelings.
Keep
Basically.
going.
I know.
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
fuel.
If
I
the-
need as much motivation at 36
They-
fucking years old to do this.
They might
Already.
worst case scenario, they might be 1-3, best case 3-1.
Okay,
So
3-1 next.
all right, so 3-1. I have them at 3-1 and 2-2.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So after that is you will be traveling to. Oh no, they'll be playing the Animals.
5 is Animals. Yeah, 5 is Animals.
Yeah, they'll be
This
playing
is
the
a-
Animals.
Rob, you are absolutely forced right now to say that that's another potential.
It is.
So it's 2-3. It's 2-3 or 4-1, right?
Or
Because the
then
best case scenario is they
worst
win that
case-
Yeah.
one, right? And the worst case scenario is 2-3. So best case scenario they're 4-1. Worst case they're 2-3. And that's
I think
before they
worst
even
case
see
So
the
that-
4-4.
less than
We've never
200
seen
pound
anything
Corey
like
Hammond.
that.
And
You've never
the
seen Corey
next
Hammond
week,
under 200 pounds.
the next week's a bounce back game against the Omegas, so that gets them to 5-1 or 3-3.
Okay.
And that gets them into the last week of the season. And we'll see in our hypotheticals how this plays out. It's them against the Rollers. Now, we don't know much about this Rollers
So,
team.
Best case 6-1, worst case 4-3.
4-3. And right
Still
now,
a
that
winner
puts them at the hypothetical 2 seed because we haven't gone through the other teams.
Well, we went through 2 teams, so yeah. I think
Well,
we
yeah,
got the 2
outside of the
seed either way.
B out. So let's do the Snow Tribe. Week 1 against
All
the
right,
U.
you guys go. I love you.
I got the
You already
You-
know.
I got them
All
0-1,
right.
man. I got them 0-1, Matt.
0-1. Yeah, I got him 0-1 too. You know, I'm just gonna leave up Corey's. Corey, if you're watching if you're listening to the audio podcast, Corey just literally walked out and fucking left.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear this.
No, he doesn't want to hear it.
That's a
Week 2, Renegades against Snow Tribe. I can see them going 1-1 after.
1-1. I'm with you.
Yeah.
1-1.
Taking a look now at week 3, they play the Boston Omegas. So at worst, they're 2-1 or 1-2. Because I think that they can beat the Omegas.
I think they'll beat the Omegas.
Yeah. So after that, they play the Animals. Now, I don't know about you or your cat, Rob, but another week where that cat just shows up.
Another week, bro. It's like they're not here during the crazy weeks, and then when we're chilling, here she comes. Here she comes.
They know.
They
It's just perfectly. If you're listening to this show and you're not watching the video version and just watching this cat straight chill on Rob's shoulder.
I'm
So
a
I knew
massive
it's-
man. Like I'm huge. So
Yes.
to them, I guess I get it. No complaints.
So after the Animals, the BIC, the Snow Tribe are off. They have a bye in week 5. Week 6, it's against the Watchmen. So to be completely honest, I think that's a loss. I think they're 2-2 and 1-3.
I think they can beat. Here's the thing, right? They have a lot of weapons over there on the Snow Tribe, and these guys, it's a lot of vets over there as well. And I have to give Ant Live credit for being able to put together defenses with not much going. They'll at least give competitive games. If the Watchmen are not loaded up, excuse me, I can see a scenario where the only game they lost so far is against the U.
All right. So we move on to week number 5. BIC is Snow and Watchmen. That's week 6. Week 7, it's the BIC and the Snow Tribe.
So
That's a win.
Their best case, their best case scenario has them losing 2 games.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's not bad.
I
Wow.
get some, and I'm gonna make sure I got that right. So it's Snow Tribe at you, Renegades, Omegas at Snow, Animals at Snow, and thereby Snow at Watchmen, and then BIC at Snow Tribe. Yep.
How'd that go, guys?
Better than you would think.
Yeah, way better than you would think. You guys have a winning record, and if I'm looking at it right, you guys might be number 3 in New Jersey.
Yeah,
with
you
your
would be
winning
3.
record.
You would be 3 if your best case scenario broke out and the U and the BIC were there. Let's go to the Renegades.
Well, guys, just to let you know, here at the Raw Wish No Tribe, we're all about doing it the right way, and the right way is just taking it 1 week at a time. The wins and losses that we talk about in the media and all that kind of stuff are fun. You guys have a great show. I really appreciate, guys. As an avid listener, Matt and Rob, I love you guys. I listen to you all the time. First time talker.
Boy, if you get the fuck you.
But I will say this is at the Snow Tribe, we know that all the talk means nothing. We're about doing jobs. So I really appreciate you guys having the cat involved with the show. I heard Rob just passing. I was going to actually eat because just coming in from karate, had to hit that chicken parm my wife made up.
Corey's insane. I'm convinced. Corey's insane.
This is sociopath behavior.
That's the cliche quarterback speak where I talk for a really long time and say nothing. I can do both. But anyway,
is that your new character?
Know.
Is that your new character?
I've been playing that character for a long time. Ask Robin when I was on the table, except for I just had fun with them because I was saying that they were still on the U, and he always says we. So who do we do next?
We are doing the East Orange Renegades week 1 against the BIC. I'll consider that a loss. For
sure. 0-1. Even with CP3 back there, I just don't think they have enough weapons offensively to really get to put up the points required to deal with the BIC.
Next week against the Snow Tribe.
Again, Snow Tribe.
Is it 0-2 across the board?
That's a situation where they could win that game. Maybe they lose that game. So let's just be fair. Best case scenario, they win that game. Worst case scenario, they lose that game.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm willing to bet more money on Ant Live's defense because he knows CP3.
And the Renegades offensive line wasn't there for him, wasn't there for much of the quarterbacks last season. They put them in a lot of peril.
So even with CP, it's Ant's defense versus the offensive line that the Renegades could produce. And if they didn't make any big pickups, I'm seeing CP in the gang starting off at 0-2. And that second game against Snow Tribe will be a close game, but they'll lose by a score.
So if it's a close game though, then best case scenario they win it. Worst case scenario they lose it.
Best case,
because that's what the game we're playing. So it's 1-1 or 0-2.
Yeah,
it's just hard for me. Yeah, it's hard for me seeing them beat Snow Tribe. That's all.
Yeah, I like you playing devil's advocate.
I love you guys. Well, I'm just saying if we're really objectively looking at it, and we say it's going to be probably a close game. Then best case scenario they win it. Worst case scenario they lose it.
Next week it's against the DC Buzz. I think the Buzz beat them. I think
that's one of those games that specifically for the Renegades, that's a tough matchup game, right? Damn. Last year they came into the season and they were 3-0 going into the Renegades in that night game, and we were talking about, are the Renegades for real? Are they gonna beat the DC Buzz? Because they were 3-0 that week.
Yeah,
if they beat the DC Buzz, they're 4-0. And what happened was it was the specific matchup that their defensive line couldn't get to Mark Diggs because of the way that the Buzz play offense is that Mark Diggs is going to get rid of the ball right away.
Mark Diggs is going to fuck some people up this season. I think he's definitely a player to watch.
And for that matchup, I think, look, the other thing I think we should talk about with this specific matchup is that they're, the Renegades, they add a lot of guys. They have a lot of guys. It is what it is. But that's a revenge game, I feel like, because they got their asses kicked last year. And when you get your ass kicked the year before and you have the same group of guys, they're going to come to that game and they're going to come with a certain want to that is going to be tangible, I think. And although the DC Buzz, I think, are one of the teams in this Eastern, Northeastern division to watch to see how good they are, because if they somehow become better than the Watchmen, they have those 2 wins if they get both of those wins. And that catapults them above, some of these other teams that have to fight with all the other teams. So I think it would be easy to say that the Renegades, with that bad matchup, based on what we saw last year, right, that this is a worst case scenario. They, win. Best case scenario, it's a close game. Worst case, they get blown out. But I would say, based on the revenge factor, I'm going to say the best case is that they're now 2-1. Worst case is they're 0-3.
Rob?
Shit.
Pause on your cat, by the way. That's the wrong end, my guy. Did we already get the name of this one? I know the other one's Gray.
Yeah, this one's Moon.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. We already got Moon because we talked about this already. All right. What's up, Moon? Don't moon us, please.
But I can't disagree with what you're saying. I really do agree. It's just I love revenge games. I think they make for way more exciting football than people think. So, I mean, worst case scenario, those guys are 0-3, man.
Yeah, best case
Mark-
2-1. Worst case
yeah,
0-3.
Mark Diggs is gonna kick a lot of ass this year. So, that's rough.
The next week it will be the Renegades taking on the Rollers.
Renegades got it.
Yeah, so that's 3-1 and 1-3. So that gives
Yep.
them their second, well, their third win or their first win, depending on the scenario. Week 4, it's the Animals taking on the Renegades, a 10 a.m. game.
Shit.
Those 10 a.m. games are tough.
Yeah, those 10 a.m. games suck, bro. Oh my god, they suck.
You get those 7 a.m. calls. You're calling people. You gotta wake up, man. You really gotta wake up.
Yo, we got coffee and munchkins on the field. Get the fuck over here.
That would be
You
nice.
just lie because there's never gonna be there. They're never gonna be there.
I supply
just
coffee
lie.
sometimes. Oh,
You
we've
do,
got it.
you do. You definitely do.
Try to be a friend, and we have a guest joining us here on the show that will give us some elucidation in this dancery. But let's finish this off real quick with the Renegades. They are, it's their last game of the season, so they can end up 3-2 or 4-5, 1-4.
Wait, so the Animals, but are we saying best case scenario is they lose? So the Renegades are going to lose.
No, they
the
would
Animals either way?
win, lose in that one.
So
Yeah,
then it
that's
would be
also-
best case scenario, they're 4-1, and worst case scenario, they're
And
1
next
and
week-
5 or 1-4.
And next
Wow.
week we'll do the Rollers, the Animals, the Watchmen, and the Buzz to add to our fun here. But we do have a guest here on the show, and we can't get him on camera
Yo.
just yet.
My boy is wild. My boy
It is Snags
Bro, to
Sosa.
Say Facebook Live. Come on now.
Great,
Sorry.
listen, great
sorry.
camera quality too.
Yeah,
That is great camera quality. That's
that
even
is
better
great
on stupid
camera. That
computer.
is some efficient camera quality. Right
Shout
there.
out to all the people that listen on the podcast for all the stuff that they're missing on YouTube right now. So check out our A7FL.com. A7FL YouTube page.
Yeah,
And
A7FL.TV.
A7FL.tv. What's up,
Starting-
Snags?
What's up, man? What's up with y'all, man?
Asking
Nothing
you shall
much.
receive. I mean, we've been wanting to get you on for a while. We just ran through the hypothetical you schedule and what your best case, worst case scenario was. What was it, guys? That they lost to the Snow Tribe and then they all had to retire?
Keep
You know, what
dreaming.
what Snag said to me? He was like, yo, I was on the phone with him today. He says, I'm watching you right now, Cory. I'm watching film right now. I was like, well, man, you're going to see the same fat ass quarterback that I used to be. So you ain't missing much.
Is my vape okay? My vape good on the podcast?
Yeah, as long as it's,
just cigarette,
legal.
you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't advocate vaping, but it's legal. Do you?
I mean, you announce it. There's a team from college football lore that was involved with their entrance was a lot of smoke. So if you want to just kind of use that cigarette vape and give yourself a little entrance, what team are you going to be playing for officially, Snags, in the 2023 A7FL spring season? Oh, he put him
Oh, he did it! He
He
did
put
it!
it out.
He did the thing.
He put it up.
He did the thing. Oh, dude, it's the thing. I just did
But
it.
that, what
Hey.
was that process like to decide? I'm gonna go to you. Now there's a lot of changes taking place in Baltimore, Washington, that whole area. There's 2 teams where 4 teams used to be, and we're hearing a lot of things about the Watchmen or the Buzz. You and your brother decided to make the investment in an Easy Pass and take that drive every week.
Yeah.
What were the conversations with Ryan Shamar about? Was Ryan even involved in those conversations? Talk us through how you went from being one of the most caffeinated dudes in the history of Baltimore football to being now the newest member of the cornerstone franchise of this league.
All right, so I'm gonna make a real long story short. I always liked the youth organization. Even playing for Baltimore, playing for the Gators, they always was just like that. They just gave you like that fire like that. It couldn't be put out. Now, even though they got shut down twice in a or however many times they lost the championship, they was just that team. Like I wouldn't have been able to go to no other team other than the U if I ever left my city.
Right.
But speaking on Baltimore, man, that shit was a disaster, bro. Like it was a real disaster. I'm really upset, to be honest with y'all. I'm really upset that they decided to make a team this late. I'm really upset for real because, to be honest, like nobody wants to leave their state, bro. This is a lot of traveling that we about to be doing, a whole bunch. So I was just like, man, like they wanted to do it last minute, and now, I ain't gonna say no names, but it's a bunch of motherfuckers like, yeah, yo, my fault. I'm sorry. It's a lot of people like.
I mean,
you can say motherfucker. You can say
curse.
You can say
But
motherfucker.
you are towing the sideline right now. Tiptoe up that thing nice and careful. You know what I'm saying?
All right. It's a lot of guys like now, like, yo, you should, come out, bro. Like, come. And it's like, fuck no, I'm not. Like,
It's too late to be switching teams, right?
Yeah, it's too late.
The Cory Hammonds learned that in 2020, 22. You can't be joining the Hawks midway through the offseason. They're going to start a running back over me. But
that's the 5th time you've said that this podcast.
And
we've been on.
Going to Cory Hammond.
It's no disrespect to Baltimore. Like, I ain't disrespecting nobody from Baltimore because at the end of the day, like, y'all, we family. Like, it's no disrespect, but it was just, I just feel like that was just a bonehead decision at the end of the fucking, like, come on, bro. Like, man, nobody don't got time for that.
I think we've all been on and off record. Like all the 4 of us that are on the show have been on and off record, kind of like, saying that, a lot of what went on and now we're moving forward, but a lot of what went on, we were very confused about, publicly, privately, all the time, intermittently. But now that all the dust is settled and we're kind of moving on, what other dudes can you confirm are going to be joining the U with you that you feel comfortable revealing? And how close are you to the guys that are the core of the U? The U that just had a scrimmage in New Jersey this weekend that you're going to be able to kind of integrate into a team that, A, is losing one of the key cogs that made that whole thing go in Huff, but B, is looking to add new faces and kind of gel with a core that is obviously, like you said, is one of the most successful organizations in the history of this league. Who are you bringing? And what are the conversations like as you kind of integrate yourself into what I'm affectionately calling the?
All right, so a lot of guys that was originally supposed to come, they backed out.
Right. So I know for instance, specifically, I saw the Wolverine post, right? Ricardo Freeman.
Yeah. He backed out. A lot of guys backed out. I mean, I don't even know if he even like. If they even aired it, but a lot of guys that was supposed to come with us, they stayed back in Baltimore with the Watchmen.
Okay.
So me and my brother going up top, and we gonna do us. And I quote this: "We winning this shit."
Okay. Who's suiting up at quarterback for the U week 1 against my Snow Tribe?
OG Buck.
Now, how often do you think these guys are working with each other so that they can be on the same page, or are you kind of really confident that that's not going to matter as much as we might think it might?
I mean, you gotta think about this, right? I don't know how well y'all know Buck, but Buck is one of the smartest quarterbacks that ever stepped on in the field on this shit. Now he might run a 5'9", but the boy
He's faster than me, and I run faster than a 5'9".
But the
Well, that's
boy,
the episode
look,
title.
I disrespect OG Buck enough, I think, for all of us. And I love the guy, and I have a lot of respect for his game. Don't you ever say he runs a 5'9". What does that mean? I run a 7'8". What does Rob run? A 12'2"?
Watch it. I run a
Yo.
4'9" flat.
What does Matt run?
I'm
A
fast for a
4'3"?
fat man. Fuck you.
4'9".
Yo,
3 stolen bases in high school.
Matt,
One
I
of them
said
was
he
home.
4'3".
I run a 4'9", yo.
20.
but
One a 1738, but that's not the point of the conversation.
a lot of the other guys that's supposed to came up there with us, like they backed out. So to be honest with y'all, I don't really know as much as I thought I did. I genuinely don't know who is coming with me and Buck. I don't know whatever they got.
That's totally fair.
I genuinely don't know. Like, so I'm just going with.
No, I'm
gonna be there.
Have you had any conversations of what your role is going to be?
I'm a running back, bro.
No, we know that you're a running back, and you're one of the best that has ever come out of the state of Maryland in our league. But you've also made an impact, and that's why one of the reasons why you're on Matt's fantasy team. You've also made an impact wherever you can because you're an impact type of guy, right? You are the guy that if on a third down, you'll go in at a D end and rush the quarterback and get a sack.
Oh yeah,
you are the guy that'll leak out of the backfield and catch the ball. So have you kind of talked about like where your expectations are for how much playing time and what positions or what you can do, or you're just there to ball?
All I'm gonna say is this, bro. I'm gonna be all over that fucking field. Listen, bro. I would say it's my last season, but it might be a lie because I really feel like I got a lot more playing in me. Like I'm 32 years old. A lot of guys, I've been here since 2014 fall season. So I played every season if I wasn't suspended, but I've been here like, and I still got it, bro. Like I still got my youth. So I can't say it's gonna be my last season, but like I said, I quote this, bro. We're beating the shit out of everybody that's again in front of us.
I like that energy.
That the YouTube comments last week were fairly consistent with the mantra you're giving now.
Especially Quatrell Huffin.
Oh
shit.
And just to repeat it, because you put it on our comment section, but obviously some of that's lost to obviously our faithful listeners of the podcast on the podcast. But what was your kind of like guarantee? Because I saw in the comments that you made a guarantee. What was the guarantee if you want to bring it back up or if you want to just leave it to the comments, people can look?
No. I ain't gonna lie, Cory. I got dementia, short-term dementia.
That's fair. All right, so you forgot. No big deal. I think it was some kind of he was gonna go on your Instagram or Facebook and do a live and say that he beat you, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. If you guys beat me, someone from the U is pouring E&J on me. So I'm just trying to get another bet involved.
I thought they said
so
they weren't wasting liquor on you, Cory. That's what they said to me.
What I say, Rob?
No, I heard that they weren't wasting liquor on Cory by pouring E&J on him. I heard they weren't doing that.
No, it's going to be a big tub of sangria. They're just going to get sangria. And they're going to pour it all over them. And then bachata music's going to be playing in the background. And for some reason, K-Wack just going to be there. He's just going to be there doing the robot dance from Chappelle's show just for no reason.
And no, K-Wack, you can't come. You can't sell your merch on the tinyurl.com/A7FL merch.
I feel like you tell him this every week.
Yeah, because I have to remind him every week.
It's his version of Go Home Roger.
For real, it's like, yo, or like throwing Jeffrey out the house. Like, bro, I get it, bro. I get it. I promise.
In our career, K-Wack's kind of more Jeffrey'd me more times than I've ever Jeffrey'd him.
Hey, so
but that's a different story.
I got a special request real quick, though.
Special request, DJ Matt's got you.
All right, we've got a special dedication out there to Snags out in Baltimore. Snags, what's your request?
I want to give a very, very special fuck you to BIC and whatever team that Huff played for.
It don't even matter what team it is, but fuck them.
That's my special fuck you because, bruh, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm a man, and I don't have no problem with saying anything that's on my heart. BIC them, they'd have me up. They'd have me on some sleepless nights, man. this year, that shit ain't happening.
Let's bring you back to the 2021 Final Four, because that's one of the greatest games I think the three of us have watched, right?
Can we just marinate in the fact of what
Can
that
you
man
just do that?
said?
Can you finish the bit by saying, and that is the special
That's
fuck
our,
you.
it's a goddamn team death dedication. It's coming out of a goddamn up-tempo number. Is that Bachata Bob? Are those the pictures I want to see?
It's crazy, bro.
That is
like,
a great Harry Carey. Look at this guy. He's got a vape. He's got a clear water glass.
He's vibing. He's just vibing. We've been doing it wrong.
All we need is Baltimore club music, and it's the 3-on-1 party night. Let's go.
Oh, sure.
Hearing
Corey,
Debbie Deb in the background.
Corey, you gotta chill. Cause you got a couple guys that I really want to give you the Beats by Dre, man. You gotta chill out.
They always didn't like me.
You
know what's funny? You know what's funny? I went and tried to be like an advocate for them, and they basically said what Snags just said to teams, they said to me and my family, and it's like, all right, that's cool. My bad, right? But anyway,
I want to say this, bro. Like that's top of the line disrespect, and I don't agree with that. I don't give a fuck about.
Of course not. And we also.
That's some shit from anybody from Baltimore or Jersey. Like that man family don't got shit. And we do know that your wife she gonna put the mittens up for you.
Listen, nah, just got hands, yo.
/A7FL merch. She designed all that shit.
Well, let's ask. We've got to wrap up soon. I have an appointment. I have to go see my barber at 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday.
And I would have kept it growing, but last question for Snags football.
Kept it what?
Growing my hair.
Oh, you're okay.
Yo, you've just been waiting to pause me all episode, and I didn't say anything yet. So you were like, you gotta say something. But Snags, pause for some reason eventually. What do you hear that you are feeling comfortable to tell us about the most mysterious team in the A7FL, which is probably the biggest question mark headed into the season, other than maybe the Rollers, in the Watchmen? Do you know who's where, who's playing what? What can we expect from this team that we basically know nothing about until you inform us, because you're our guy?
I could tell you this, though. I could tell you that they're not going to be no walkover team. They're actually, all right. So the Watchmen is basically what me and my brother was trying to do from the get-go. You wanted
to take the crocodiles and the extinct species and combine, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
We wanted to do that.
So
right?
The extinct crocodile species should have been the name of the thing.
Whatever. So
that was the perfect fucking answer to what this dummy
That's how you guys
said.
deal with me every week. Whatever. And then just keep going. Snags, you're a treasure. Thank you.
I don't know how the fuck. I don't care. I don't really care how nobody feel about this, but this is what we wanted to do from the beginning. Me and Buck, we wanted to do this from the beginning, but everybody felt as though it wouldn't work because they didn't want to like drop guys that was their friends instead of making a team. Even if it came down to me being dropped for a better running back, because I tell you what, I might be a good running back, but Dion is an all around everything. Dion McDaniel, I gotta get at to bro. So let's just say if they had to drop me for Dion, it is what it is.
Nah, you're bugging.
Well, the thing about Dion is when you see him in person and you know him, he's like the number one fantasy draft pick that lets you down, because he year in, year out is the running back that looks the best in practice. And then for whatever reason, whether it's the team he's on or he's just not consistent enough, getting the carries, he doesn't put up the stats. But
no, he does not. I mean, we just watched him on what team did he play for last year? Because I know
exactly
in 2021.
That's the answer to the question. Exactly.
Yeah,
but the point is that everybody that plays on the roster with him and has to face him in practice has respect for the man's game. So it'll be interesting to see if he finds his way into the extinct crocodile species.
Hey, Rob, but I appreciate that, bro. But Dion, when he really want to play, because Dion played, he actually started playing down to just like everybody's potential. When Dion really can be a big problem, he can really be a big problem. So I'm just giving an example.
Okay. right.
They didn't want to do that. Like they didn't want to do that because they started talking about it's going to be Eagles. It's Eagles. It's too. They didn't want to do that. So at the end of the fucking day, now they still end up doing it.
Yeah.
And now me and my brother gone.
Yeah.
And now they, you know what I'm saying? Like now they want they want us back now. But it's too late. Like we went to the U and we're gonna beat the shit out of all of y'all. Every team in this shit.
All right, we're gonna do a real quick rapid fire, and maybe the ones on the A7FL.TV watching this are gonna get a better. So maybe even just give me a code if you don't want to go, but I'm gonna shout out a name and you just tell me yes or no to the Watchman. Ace Boogie, go.
Yes.
Aunt Mo, go.
Yes.
Freight Train, go.
Yes.
Tony Toe Tap,
Yes.
Pack Money,
Yes.
Beefy,
Yes.
Nick Mays,
No.
Bone,
Toss up.
yeah, to the extent that he always plays. So yeah, he's on the roster, but we won't see him.
Sly
Jawan Linscomb,
Boogie.
Jawan Lipscomb? Said Lipscomb?
yeah, I said Linscomb. He said Sly. I know Sly's a no though, right?
No. Lipscomb is a no.
Okay, what about Sly?
Yes.
Oh. So we're really the advertisement that we're getting, and then the only one that it kind of like it limps in at the end because it was one of them. But Lenny,
Yes.
yeah. So like I mean, no disrespect to Lenny, but after all of those names, it kind of limps in. So basically, what we're saying is, what about Nani Forrester?
Yes.
Starting quarterback.
We said Ace.
Ace is actually holy, yo.
That's what we're saying, and then
Holy
based on his
shit.
health issues, they have Lenny Manziel just in case.
Lenny, he's a potential. I'm sorry, Cory.
Are you good?
Lenny, potential starting quarterback on any team if he ever just got the right. See, the problem is he want to play with the big name teams, and he's always in somebody's shadows. If Lenny went with a team like the Buzz, just throwing a name out there.
But they love Mark Diggs specifically with the Buzz, so that's a tough one.
They love his fat ass.
He's just throwing a team.
They love his fat ass. Oh,
Don't disrespect my other pocket passer in the league.
He take one step and throw that bitch 50 yards and pray that somebody go get it.
And Mike, he gonna make it. Usually is gonna make it.
Yeah, and Mike is a problem. But we talking about Lenny right now. I know y'all gotta go. But if Lenny would just stop trying to play on the big name teams and just go and he'll get a little mediocre team, here what he showed everybody what he got.
Well, and based on what we know of Ace is one of the best, if not the best, quarterback from the state of Maryland in our league. But the one question mark is he going to last the whole season? So having Lenny on the roster, I think, hey, I mean, guys, if all of what Snags is saying is true, what we found out is that the Watchmen are going to be a team. Watch this, guys. To watch. What? Oh. No.
God damn you.
I knew Snags would actually find it funny, man. He always laughs at my corny shit. I appreciate you, bro. You heard the way that they deal with me. They're like, man, come on. Can this guy just shut up? tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. Angelo Lewis, Snags Sosa. Huss. Thick boy season. I'll try. Which shirt are you getting, my guy?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. I missed that part. All right. The Huss and what was it again?
Huss, thick boy season, or I'll try.
We ask everybody. We want to get everybody's take. Rob is on a losing streak, by the way.
I'll have to go with the thick boy season.
Let's go! Mírate, coño!
See, but I like Huss, right? But thick boy season is just, like a lot of guys don't get it. The big boys, they don't really give them no love. They the ones that really matter on the field.
Don't lie, Snags. You love the artwork. at Jess Ham Tattoos has made a winner, and week in, week out, the A7FL family is falling in love with not only the face that you see there, But the shirt and tinyurl.com/A7FL merch. Thick
Congratulations,
season, ladies
Matt.
and gentlemen.
Congratulations, Matt.
You know what's funny?
I can't.
I got my
Three.
win and I stopped the tally. I stopped counting. I was like, I got one.
To quote the late great Buddy Rogers, to a nicer guy, it couldn't happen. Paterson U native, Paterson, New Jersey native, and our newest Paterson U member, Angela Lewis, aka Snages Sosa. Excited to see what you do in the backfield starting March 26th. Thanks for finally joining us here on the show. I know we wanted to have you before, couldn't get it to line up, but we had it line up tonight. Thanks for joining us, if not for a few minutes. We'll be seeing him on the field, and you can see us right here every week on A7FL.tv. We'll be bringing you the 3-on-1 podcast, and also A7FL 1 starting soon on A7FL.tv. And March 26th, 3 games a week. That's right. You're going to get tired of us real fucking soon, but be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, rate, review, and subscribe. Skillshare starts next week, so start getting some skills that you can share and giving us money. The more you Skillshare, the more we make money. So
the more you make money,
Skillshare.
it's skills that you can will be shared with. You'll have the skills if you go to Skillshare.
I will be doing the reads.
Yeah, you're better at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash and crash again, but
He's gonna crash out.
But for Snages Sosa, for Big Rob Fabian, for Cory Hammond, I'm Matt Ryan saying, as always, don't be an asshole.
I'll try.